Have you ever wondered what the foundational elements and key pillars of MA are? Well, let's unravel this together. The fabric of MA, or medical affairs, is woven around a few fundamental threads. These threads, or pillars, provide the structure and support that keep the MA tapestry intact and vibrant. First, we have insights, the eyes and ears of MA, responsible for capturing high-quality external insights to steer the medical strategy. Then there's evidence generation, the engine that drives the continuous creation of safety and efficacy information. Next up, evidence dissemination, the megaphone that amplifies this evidence to both internal and external stakeholders. Governance and compliance, the guardian, ensures medical quality oversight and compliance with various guidelines and regulations. Lastly, the pillar of medical leadership, the compass, guides the development of MA asset strategy and informs company-wide scientific and commercialization strategies. Stay tuned as we delve into these pillars one by one. The first pillar we will be discussing is insights. Picture this. You're a sailor navigating the vast ocean. The wind is your guide and the stars are your map. In the world of medical affairs, insights are our wind and stars. They guide us, help us navigate, and ultimately lead us to our destination. Insights are the lifeblood of medical affairs. They're the high-quality external nuggets of wisdom that we capture and use to drive and inform our medical strategy. They come from a myriad of sources, from healthcare professionals and key opinion leaders to patients and their caregivers. Each insight is a precious gem, a spark of knowledge that illuminates our path and helps us make the right decisions. Let's delve into the role of insights a bit more. Imagine you're a pharmaceutical company developing a new drug. You've done your research, your trials, and now you're ready to launch. But wait, have you considered the insights? What do the doctors think about your drug? How do patients feel about the treatment? What are the caregivers' concerns? These are the questions that insights can answer, giving you a holistic view of your product from every angle. Now let's look at a real-life example. A few years ago, a pharmaceutical company was developing a new cancer drug. They had promising results from their trials, and everything seemed set for a successful launch. But when they dug into the insights, they realized that patients were worried about the side effects. Armed with this knowledge, the company went back to the drawing board, refined their drug, and reduced the side effects. When they launched, the drug was a success. The patients were happy, the doctors were satisfied, and the company reaped the rewards. All thanks to the power of insights. Insights are not just about gathering information. They're about understanding the needs, concerns, and expectations of everyone involved in the healthcare journey. They're about listening, learning, and adapting. They're about making sure that every decision we make is informed, strategic, and patient-centered. With the right insights, the pharmaceutical industry can make informed strategic decisions. Moving on, let's discuss the second pillar, evidence generation. This pillar is about the continuous process of generating evidence that provides information on the safety and efficacy of medicines. Think of it as the engine that propels the pharmaceutical industry forward. Without this evidence, we would be navigating in the dark, unsure of the effects and potential risks of the medicines we produce. This is why it's vital to generate high-quality evidence at every stage, from preclinical trials, through clinical trials, all the way to post-marketing surveillance. But it's not only about confirming that a drug works and is safe. It's also about discovering new uses for existing drugs, understanding the long-term effects of treatments, and identifying which patient groups will benefit the most. Now, let's talk about data gaps. These are the missing pieces in our understanding of a drug. They could be about long-term effects, effects in specific populations, or even potential drug interactions. Addressing these data gaps is crucial in order to provide the most comprehensive and accurate information about a medicine. To fill these gaps, we need to continuously generate new evidence. This is done through various means, such as observational studies, real-world data collection, and patient registries, to name a few. However, evidence generation is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process that continues even after a drug has been approved and is on the market. This is because our understanding of a drug can change over time as new information emerges, and as we gather more data from a larger and more diverse group of patients. In the end, evidence generation is like a never-ending journey of discovery, where every piece of new information brings us a step closer to the truth. It's a journey that requires dedication, rigor, and a deep commitment to the principles of science and medicine. Evidence generation is the backbone of every pharmaceutical breakthrough. It's the force that drives innovation, ensuring that the medicines we produce are not only effective but also safe and beneficial for the patients who depend on them. Now, let's talk about the third pillar, evidence dissemination. Imagine a world where scientific discoveries are made, but they are kept locked away in an inaccessible vault. The information is there, but it's as if it doesn't exist because it's not reaching the people who need it the most. That's where evidence dissemination comes into play. It's not enough to generate evidence. The evidence must be communicated effectively to both internal and external stakeholders. These stakeholders include but are not limited to healthcare professionals, scientists, researchers, patients, and policymakers. And the method of communication? It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Different modes of dissemination are used to cater to the diverse needs of these stakeholders. Let's start with scientific exchange. This is a platform where scientists and researchers can share their findings, discuss them, and build upon them. It's a melting pot of ideas and discoveries. Next, we have key opinion leader engagement, or KOL engagement. This involves reaching out to influential figures in the field. These KOLs can then use their influence to further spread the message, thus amplifying the reach of the evidence. Then there's medical information. This covers a broad spectrum, from detailed scientific reports to easy-to-understand patient education materials. It's all about tailoring the information to the audience. Publications are another crucial aspect. They provide a formal, peer-reviewed platform for sharing evidence. These publications can then be cited by other researchers, thus contributing to the body of scientific knowledge. Last but not least, we have continuing medical education. This ensures that healthcare professionals are kept up to date with the latest developments in the field. In essence, evidence dissemination is about making sure that the right information reaches the right hands at the right time. It's about breaking down the walls of the vault and making scientific evidence accessible and understandable. Effective dissemination ensures that the generated evidence reaches the right hands at the right time. The fourth pillar we will be exploring is governance and compliance. This component is essential because it ensures that the pharmaceutical industry operates in an ethical and regulated manner. Now, what does this mean in the context of medical affairs, or MA, you might wonder? Well, it's all about medical quality oversight. Modern-day governance and compliance are no longer just about ticking off boxes on a checklist. They are about continuous, proactive measures to maintain the highest level of quality in all actions and decisions. In the realm of MA, this quality oversight is manifested through a keen adherence to a variety of guidelines, codes, and regulations. These guidelines and regulations may come from various sources, such as government bodies, industry associations, and even internal company policies. Each of these guidelines serves as the compass that guides the actions of MA professionals. They ensure that every step taken is in the right direction, that every decision made is rooted in ethical considerations. They provide the framework for the safe and effective use of medicines, the generation and dissemination of evidence, and the engagement with key opinion leaders. But it's not just about compliance. It's also about fostering a culture of integrity and transparency. It means that MA departments not only follow these guidelines, but also actively contribute to their development and improvement. They engage in dialogues, share insights, and learn from each other to continually enhance the standards of governance and compliance. So when we talk about governance and compliance as a pillar of MA, we are talking about more than just rules and regulations. We are talking about a commitment to excellence, a dedication to ethical practices, and a culture of continuous improvement. This is what sets the pharmaceutical industry apart. It's not just about developing and selling medicines. It's about doing so in a way that respects the rights of patients, that values the trust of healthcare professionals, and that upholds the highest standards of ethical and professional conduct. Governance and compliance ensure that the pharmaceutical industry operates within the boundaries of ethics and regulations. Finally, we come to the fifth and last pillar, medical leadership. Medical affairs professionals hold a pivotal role in shaping the trajectory of the pharmaceutical industry. They are the architects, informing and guiding company-wide scientific and commercialization strategies. Their expertise and insights are instrumental in co-creating brand strategies, aligning scientific discovery with a market-ready approach. Medical leadership isn't just about strategy, though. It's about showing up and setting an example. It's about embodying the principles and values of the pharmaceutical industry and exemplifying leadership skills that inspire and motivate. It's about being the voice of the industry, the advocate for patients, and the bridge between science and society. By demonstrating these leadership qualities, medical affairs professionals can maximize their chances of securing a seat at the decision-making table. They can influence, they can shape, they can lead, because at the end of the day, strong medical leadership is what drives the pharmaceutical industry forward. So those were the foundational elements and key pillars of MA, from capturing high-quality external insights to drive medical strategy, through to the continuous generation and dissemination of evidence about the safety and efficacy of medicines. We also touched on the importance of governance and compliance, along with the crucial role of medical leadership in developing asset strategies and informing company-wide directions. Understanding these pillars is essential for anyone involved in the pharmaceutical industry. Thank you for joining us today.